After watching the latest
What's up, people? Nature Girl 30.
What's up, people? Nature Girl 30. Well, guys, we're here. This is my final mini Q&A. 152. I have done 152 of these. I never thought I would ever get this far, and I thank everyone that has sent me questions over the years. I have literally been doing this for 5 years. Never imagined I would ever be able to do mini Q&As and do this many. And I thank you all for being such a great source of support throughout the years. I know I've had my setbacks, especially with some people, but I will tell you this. I wouldn't be able to do these if it wasn't for you guys, and I thank you so much for sending me these questions throughout all these years and being my biggest supporters. And definitely everybody that has sent me questions, and I thank you all for sending me questions before the Go Home show overall. It's great. I have so many, and you guys have been great with it. I thank you guys so much, like seriously. But I got some on Twitter, a lot on Twitter. I got one on Facebook Messenger, and I have 4 on YouTube. So let's get started with this final mini Q&A. It feels surreal. It really does feel surreal. But let's get started with this the mini Q&A. But let's get started on Twitter first. I'm gonna get started with my friend Freddie from the CC Network. Thank you so much, Fred, for sending me questions. You are awesome, man. And guys, check out his channel. On my last Q&A, I know I didn't have a chance to actually leave a link up there, like in the card, but I actually did put it back a little while ago. And I'm going to probably put a card up there for those that want to see the rest of my Q&As. Since there's so many, you know, for those that want to go back for nostalgia's sake and see the transformation of every Q&A I've had and how mediocre they were and how much better they became. They're not like ultra great, but they've gone up a little bit. But anyway, let's get started with Freddie's questions. His first question for me is this: do you think Bayley would debut on Raw after WrestleMania? If they introduce the 4 Horsewomen. Now, there's a huge rumor that Bayley is going to drop her title at NXT TakeOver Dallas. If she drops it at Dallas, that means we are going to see her at NXT Dallas. We're going to see her at WrestleMania, more than likely being a part of the 4 Horsewomen. And I'm hoping that the 4 Horsewomen become a thing because we need a decent female. We need a female faction. We've had all these male factions over the years. So we need a good female faction, a dominant female faction. What dominant female faction would there be without the 4 Horsewomen? I'm fine with that. Like, seriously. They might change the name because, of course, yeah, 4 Horsewomen, yeah, all look like horses, but I'm fine with that, seriously. But yeah, I hope that she does debut. I believe she will, but it all depends on the triple threat match and how it turns out. That's just me. What match will main event WrestleMania? Reigns versus Triple H, Shane versus Taker. I'm having a hard time predicting it. Honestly, I've talked to my friend Daryl about this, and actually Daryl's coming with me because I'm gonna be at WrestleMania, and I don't know whether or not I'm going to do an actual review after WrestleMania because the time difference is gonna be different there. It's gonna actually be showing at 4 p.m. I don't know if it's gonna be live. It might actually make sense for it to be. But other than that, I don't know if I'm going to actually be doing a review that night. More than likely, I'll probably be doing it maybe the day. Yeah, I don't know. I might do it either that night or when I get back into town. But other than that, yeah, Dee's going with me, and I actually talked to him about this. And honestly, I really think that it would benefit them more if they have the Hell in a Cell match to be the closer. I want that to be the main event. The reason why is this: any match that involves Undertaker is emotionally draining and it will zap you dry. And when you're zapped of all types of emotion, you cannot enjoy the rest of the matches. And that will not do the main event justice, as well as any match that comes after it. So I hope that they actually do close it out, because there's a lot riding on this match. And I hope that the championship match with Reigns versus Triple H will be before it. And number two, nobody really likes Roman Reigns because of the build. The build of the feud has been bad because, let's be honest, Triple H has been holding that feud on his shoulders the entire time Reigns has been gone. He has literally been promoting Reigns without Reigns promoting Reigns. That's the reason why they had Reigns become so violent so quickly, because they want to try to recapture what happened at the Rumble, but they can't do that. So honestly, if they actually had this as a main event, everybody in the entire arena is going to hate it and start throwing beer bottles inside the ring and start freaking hating them. So it would be a great idea if they did it at Hell in a Cell to be the closer. But it seems like they're actually prepping it to be the main event, but things changed at the last minute. I mean, shoot, they put like an 8 diva tag match in a kickoff when it was supposed to be on the card. So yeah, they changed stuff around real quick. So I'm hoping that that's not the main event, and I really think they might change their mind if they're smart. If they're smart, that is, not if they're smart. But yeah, it seems like they're gearing up for it to be the main event. I'm hoping that they don't. It seems like they're actually making Triple H versus Roman Reigns to be the main event. And like I said before, I'm hoping that it's the latter. But yeah, that's how they summed it up on Raw, in my opinion. But anyway, have you played any of the BioShock games? Oh my gosh. For those that know me, you know how much I love BioShock. I have all 3 games. I have BioShock, I have BioShock Infinite, and I have BioShock 2. Oh my gosh. My favorite games ever. And BioShock Infinite, if you are a fan of steampunk, there is steampunk covering that place. And they did it so well. It just immerses you in the entire game. I love every last one. I'm actually replaying BioShock Infinite now for 1999 mode. I've never beaten it, so I'm actually just playing it just for fun. And it's still fun. And it's very challenging. I have literally... You build up your money to buy vigors and to buy like powers and other stuff and to upgrade. I have literally lost $2,000 because of the freaking handyman. They will kill. It's so hard to kill a handyman. I lost $2,000 because of the handyman. And if you lose all your money, they can't bring you back. It's nuts. But I love the game. I really do. And I probably talk way too much about BioShock, but it's one of my favorite games ever. The entire trilogy, I love it. Even though technically BioShock Infinite is supposed to be the closer of BioShock 1, or it actually begins BioShock and then BioShock 2 closes it out, you gotta play all 3 games to understand what I'm talking about. And I'm not gonna really give the ending away if you haven't played it. Who do you think will win the US election? Okay. This is something that's weighing on the hearts and minds of every single American in the country right now. A lot of people believe that Donald Trump is going to be our next president. I don't believe that. The reason why people love Donald Trump now is because Donald Trump is making politics entertaining. He is making politics fun to watch. He is making politics into a train wreck. And everybody likes to watch a train wreck. But honestly, towards the end of the day, it's definitely not going to be Trump. Unless the American people are literally showing their true colors. And I pray to God that they're not. But not everybody hates Trump. There are people that like Trump because Trump tells it like it is. He is honest. He is not PC. And I'm going to be honest with you. PC, the U.S. has become too PC. Or to the point where it's annoying. So it's kind of, and they actually consider it to be refreshing to see someone who just says and just spouts out whatever comes out of his mouth. But they got to understand, we got other countries around us. If he pisses off another country and we go to war, who are we going to look at? And honestly, at the end of the day, hopefully that we have people that honestly will think about what they do before they vote. But technically, in the end, we really don't have much of a say. We kind of do have a say-so, because depending on what state is how many electoral votes you have. So the most electoral votes a candidate has will make him a president. So if he gets Texas, if he gets the New England states, and if he gets Iowa, I think it's either, yeah, if he gets Iowa and if he gets Florida, then whoever's going up against him is screwed. So I'm hoping, and the southern states, we all know where they belong to. So hopefully the North as well as the West and the Midwest are smarter than that. But as for Texas, I don't know. But that's Cruz's territory. So more than likely, Trump may not take Texas. I'm hoping that he doesn't. But if the West, if the Midwest, and if the North gets their act together, then there could be a chance that Donald Trump will not win. The South, they're screwed. Pretty much. They're all Trump supporters. They're screwed. But anyway, that's pretty much my thoughts on that. And I really don't think that Donald Trump is going to get it. I think it's comic relief up until when the time comes. And I think the next person that's going up against Trump is going to win. And that's pretty much my theory on that. Excuse me. Sorry. Had to get some water there. Sorry about that. Been a real long, well, not really hot day, but just a real long day. But other than that, great question, man. And your last question for me is, Batman v Superman, who wins? It depends on who watched the movie. I actually saw Batman v Superman this past Saturday. And honestly, fans of Wonder Woman wins. That's all I can say about that. If you're a fan of Wonder Woman, you win. If you're a fan of Batman, you win. But Batman v Superman didn't necessarily exist in the movie anymore because it had far too many villains. But let's just say the person that was standing at the very end is somebody we all expected. I'm not going to give it away for those that haven't seen it. But let's be real. The one person that is smart enough to take the other, well, let's be honest here. It's going to be the individual that everybody already expects, because this person is smart enough to think smart and to fight smart. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to give too much away. But in my personal opinion, Batman. Sorry. Batman. Batman all the way. I was with Batman all the way. But yeah, I guess I kind of gave it away. Yeah, it's Batman. Batman freaking wins that by far because he's smart. But yeah, sorry, spoiler alert. My bad. Yeah, it's my last Q&A, so yeah, yeah. Next. Moving on from there. The next set of questions comes from Largest85. All right, and your first question for me is, whose questions will you miss the most from your subscribers? Honestly, I've had so many questions that were sent to me over the years. I know that you and Final Limits have been practically my biggest supporters since day one. Since the fact that when I started doing these things, I've always got questions from you guys. I will definitely miss y'all. I really will. Final Limits has been awesome. You've been awesome. And also, Dustin Nunn has been awesome. You guys have sent some really great questions. And to be honest, not to have favoritism here, but yeah, definitely you three will be the ones I miss the most. Seriously. Because y'all have been there since day... I mean, you and Final Limits have been there since day one. And Dustin Nunn has sent some really awesome questions. Like, seriously, questions that a lot of people would not even think of asking. So, yeah, by far, it'll be you three. And your second question for me is, have you ever played Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe? If so, what did you think of it? I actually rented it and I played it and I didn't like it. Mostly because I'm used to Mortal Kombat being bloody and brutal. It was not bloody nor brutal. And the fact that they kind of, I don't know, backed off of having the superheroes do fatalities was a cop-out. But the next best thing definitely is Injustice Gods Among Us. If you have a 360, or if you have a PlayStation 4, or a PlayStation 3, I think it is on PlayStation 4. But other than that, if you ever have played Injustice Gods Among Us, play it. Anyone who is a comic book fan, especially a DC comic book fan, would love it. It's amazing. Great story. Not to mention you see a different side of Superman that you have never seen before. It is amazing. So my suggestion to you is play that game. Not DC versus Mortal Kombat. It's a freaking cop-out. Seriously, it is. It really is. But yeah, play Injustice. And your third question for me is, how many hours do you work, since you said you're always busy? my hour work days go from 8 and occasionally to maybe 9 or 10. It depends on the event, the activity, and sometimes I have to work a little late. And my job is very physical, so I'm always really tired towards the end of the day. But my usual work hours is 8. But sometimes I have to go over a little bit. So yeah, you get a little tired, you get a little exhausted after a while. And trying to schedule these in when you can barely even remember your name is a difficult thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I know I asked way too much for that. But yeah, that's it. Are you gonna miss doing Q&As? Honestly, it's gonna feel weird not doing them. Q&As is something that I do practically every Wednesday or Thursday if I have the energy to do it. And not the energy is to where I'm burnt out. The energy is where my body is just tired. And I've always told my friends and my family, I don't go to sleep, I pass out. That is definitely true. But it's just going to feel weird not doing them. It's going to feel odd going through, you know, my YouTube comments or my YouTube messages or my Twitter account and see no questions. It'll be weird. It'll be weird. But it's something that'll probably be the best for everybody else. So I won't be missing people's questions sent to me, as well as me getting some sleep. Maybe that sounds a bit selfish, but it wouldn't be fair to you guys if I constantly kept these things up and I'm always either missing somebody's Q&A questions or the fact that I never get these out on Wednesday like I said they were going to get out, and it's just not fair to you. So yeah, it's just going to feel weird for a while, but you know, it's something that I'm just going to get adjusted to. Why do you always get so many negative questions? I have no idea. I really don't know, and I gave up trying to figure it out. But it's not like it's going to really matter anymore because this is the last. This is the last of the last. I'm still going to be doing other videos. I'm gonna still do discussion videos. Maybe I'll do a vlog or two. Maybe I'll do a countdown. Whatever comes my mind that I have the creativity to do or the inspiration to do, I'll do it. I'm not gonna completely give up on my channel. I'm just not gonna do Q&As anymore because Q&As are pretty detailed. Yeah, this fell. But yeah. And that's pretty much it. I'm still going to be doing videos. I'm not going to completely abandon my channel. I'm just not going to be doing Q&As anymore. And my next set of questions comes from Real Harold, if I can actually get it to pull up. Alright, here we go. My next set of questions comes from Real Harold. What are Nature Girl's thoughts on the injuries happening in the WWE and wrestling in general? Okay. I'm not really so happy with them. Mostly because these wrestlers are really overworked. They're overworked, they need to rest, and even if you get your body conditioned day by day, your body still needs to rest. It needs at least 48 hours for your body to get right. After you do some rigorous muscle training, you need at least 2 days for your body to get back to normal before you can actually go out and do what you do so you won't have an injury. You can stretch all day, you can do all kinds of calisthenics and all kinds of workout routines all day, but in the very end, you're going to need the rest. At least 2 days. And they don't have that. They barely get vacation time. So it's sad. It's a shame. And I'm thinking that with every storyline cap, you need to take at least a few weeks off. And that's what they do. For people who are major storylines, they actually do take time off. Just like on Total Divas. After Nikki Bella lost her title, she ended up taking a few weeks off to get her neck right. And I think that instead of it being like to where, okay, I'm going to be injured, so I'm going to be off for a few weeks, I'm just thinking that with every storyline, it should be like some kind of a storyline shift. Like a continuation, but through someone else. And that person who actually has the title can probably have a little bit longer. Then when they lose it, they leave. Or actually have a new storyline added on to that to take the place of the one that was capped off at the last big pay-per-view. Like a transition. And also these people need medical care. They need to actually have access to medical care without having to pay out of pocket. They need insurance. And they also need to have a union. And we've said this for years. These people are literally putting their bodies on the line for our entertainment. And every single last wrestling fan out there who has done a video has said this very thing. They need a union and they need medical insurance. They should not have to pay out of pocket. Just saying. But yeah, it's a shame with all these injuries, and these people really do need a break. But let's move on to your next question. Will we ever see Jeff Jarrett going to the WWE Hall of Fame? Probably not. Jeff Jarrett is affiliated with TNA, and TNA is like cancer to them. I will be very shocked if they actually do have Jeff Jarrett in there, but I don't really see it happening. I will see Jeff Jarrett in the Hall of Fame if I see Chyna in the Hall of Fame, and we'll probably never see that. Stephanie will never let that happen, even though I don't know why, because she well, technically she won, but other than that, I would believe that Jeff Jarrett be in there if I see Chyna. And I'm not going to see Chyna. Ever. Your third question for me is this. Why is Ninja Girl 30 getting upset with Rio Harold if Ninja Girl 30 was autistic? I don't remember being upset with you. If I was upset with you, I don't remember being... I wasn't upset with you. I was upset with anybody that used autism as an insult. That's just very insulting, to actually use autism as an insult. And that's the one thing that made me upset about people that said that. Not so much you. If you had a legit question wondering if I was, and I'm not, but for those that ask that genuine question, I'm cool with that. But for those that use autism as a means of an insult, it's just wrong. That's what makes me angry. Just flat out. But no, I'm not mad at you for asking if I am. I was mad at anyone that used autism as an insult. I hope that made sense to everybody. Your fourth question for me is this. Ninja Girl 30 thinks that people like Freddie Thomas more than it. Okay, does Ninja Girl 30 think that people like Freddie Thomas more than Ninja Girl 30? I never really thought about that. The one thing I can say about Freddie is that Freddie is highly detailed in everything he does. In every review he does, he thoroughly goes through it and does his research. And I highly respect somebody like that. He's more analytical than I am. And I didn't think that was possible. But he's very analytical. He breaks down everything by like to the hilt, and he gets it on point. I respect him highly. And if anybody prefers him more than me, hey, more power to you. The guy is worth watching, especially his My Little Pony episodes. His countdown alone got me watching My Little Pony and enjoying that show to the hilt. So yeah, by all means, watch Freddie. And if you like him more than me, hey, that's great because he is worth watching. And I'm cool with that. Sorry about that water break. Anyway. Your next question for me is this. When was the last time that Ninja Girl 30 moved into a different house or an apartment? Man, it's been years. I have to say that about 5 years ago, I moved out into an apartment, into a house, and it's actually been 5 years. It's been 5 years since I've been here. And the last time I was in an apartment was when I was in Florida. So, and that was like, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Well, 7 years from the time that I've been here. Yeah, it's been close to 7 years. So yeah, I've been from apartment to apartment to apartment when I was in Florida, and I'm in a house now. So yeah, yeah, I think the last time it's been 5 years. So it has been a while. And I actually missed the question. Why does Ninja Girl 30 think Freddie gets treated better? I don't think he gets treated better. I think his questions pale in comparison to the questions that I have been getting. And I've been getting the same people that he gets, because I've seen his Q&A. And the same people that actually did questions for me sends him questions that are legit questions that actually do make you think. And I get the negative ones from the same people that he has. So that's what, I'm not saying that he's getting treated better, But I'm just saying that his questions pale in comparison to what I get from the same people that he has. You know, that's all I'm saying. But thanks so much, Real Harold, for sending me questions. You have been awesome over the years. It is great to actually see your questions again. I did miss you. I really did. Because your questions were really interesting. As well as you actually put yourself in third person. I think that's kind of cool. And you're definitely one person I'm going to miss. Besides Final Limits and a Largest 85 and Dustin Nunn. You're like the fourth guy. Seriously. But alright, that is it for Twitter. Now, I got one set of questions that actually came from that got sent to me via Messenger. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that up. And this comes from my friend Ray Lott. And he actually did send me some questions about WrestleMania. What are your attendance predictions for WrestleMania this year? Okay. The one thing I'm going to say about WrestleMania is that so far they said that they were at 10,000. I think 10,500. That's where they were at that point. And they were coming close to being sold out. And this was in the beginning of March. So my predictions is they're going to probably hit maybe the 12,000 the 12,000 visitor mark. I think they're probably going to hit about 12,000. Maybe. Oh, okay. Either 12,000 or 1150. I guess maybe I should just have one. Okay, fine. 1150. I could be wrong. But other than that, it's going to be either 1150 or it's going to be 11,500 or it's going to be 12,000. That's what I'm thinking. I'm probably going to be like 12,580. That's just my prediction right there. Okay, fine. 12,580. I'm just going to say that. And I could be wrong, but that's where I'm going to have it. Okay, besides Orlando, where could WrestleMania 33 be? Where could it have been? England. Can we bring it to the UK, please, so I can actually save up some money to go over there and actually watch it in the UK and finally meet Freddie and NJ and Daniel? Can we please have it in the UK? I would love for it to be in the UK, outside the States. That's where I want it. I don't want it in the States anymore. I want it abroad. So I can actually put some money together so we can go. I'll probably have my friend Big D in tow. But seriously, yeah, I really do want to go to the UK, y'all. So let's take it to the UK, but it's in Orlando next year. Yeah, like WrestleMania 24 was, which wasn't bad, I guess. Will John Cena turn heel this year? And that's your final question for me. No, that's never gonna happen. Because the thing is this. You can't just go heel. Like, it doesn't make any sense for you to turn heel without a reason for you to go heel. Like, example, Roman Reigns. There was plenty reasons for Roman Reigns to go heel. Roman Reigns got stiffed right and left by the Authority. And at the Royal Rumble, that was the breaking point. It made sense for him to snap. That's why people were happy. Because it's set up to be the perfect snapping point for him to go bad. But not really so much the bad to where he would join the Authority. It would make him an anti-hero. The guy who actually just kind of crosses that gray area. And that would have worked. He just would have been beating people down. But they kind of messed that up. But as for John Cena, it wouldn't make any sense for him to go heel. It would have to make sense for go heel. Like, the only time it would have really made sense for Cena to go heel was when Cena was facing The Rock the second time in WrestleMania 29. It would have made tons of sense. After that epic loss to The Rock, when he lost his title, that was the perfect moment for him to go heel. Seriously. And the same thing with Brock Lesnar. That epic beatdown he had at SummerSlam. It made sense for him to go heel there. He can't just go heel. He has to have a purpose of going heel. So if he goes heel, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a superstar that way surpassed him. A legend that he is tired of people talking about. Just like with Chris Jericho. It makes sense for Jericho to go heel because Jericho is jealous of AJ Styles. He has to have a reason to be jealous or upset, which will make him go heel. So, will he this year? No. I highly doubt it. But anyway, guys, let's move on to the final set of this Q&A, which is the YouTube questions. And my first set comes from my little cuz, Prince GMO, play cousin. Your first question for me is top 10 wrestlers you've had a crush on during the years. Oh boy. Okay. Y'all gonna hate me, but yeah, I've had a crush on John Cena because of his body alone. The guy's attractive. I did have a crush on John Cena when I was a teen. Well, not so much a teen. I was in my 20s around the time I had a crush on John Cena. Okay, I will admit that I had a huge, major crush on Randy Orton. It's something about the aggression, his like an aggressive psycho. There was something about around those times when I was in my mid-20s, or it was like when I was like 23, 25, that I loved him as the aggressive psycho. Especially when he was a legend killer. That was a huge turn on for me. So yeah, definitely Randy Orton. I did have a crush on Cody Rhodes for a while. Because Cody Rhodes just seemed like that guy you can bring home to mom. I did have a crush on Dolph. And Zack Ryder. I will admit that. Roman Reigns is hot. And he was hot when he was with The Shield. And Dean Ambrose. So yeah, that's about 7 so far. I did say, in a very strange way, I did have a crush on the Big Show. I don't know why. I just did. It was a phase. I was 25. It was a phase. I had a crush on the Big Show. Yeah, it was weird. But now, and I definitely had a crush on Austin Aries. Oh my gosh. And my last one that I really had a crush on, Bobby Roode. Yeah. Bobby Roode. It was something hot about him when he went heel and cut his hair. I just liked it. I don't know. He was just hot. But yeah, those are the 10 guys. Those are the 10 wrestlers that I had a crush on. And I know everybody's like, what? No Nature Boy? Look, don't get me wrong. As a kid, I loved Nature Boy. I thought he had the best hair in the business. And I guess I'll count him as number 11. Yeah, I did have a crush on Ric Flair because of his hair. He had the best hair. Just flowing blonde. Yeah, I'll put him down as number 11. He should be number 1. But honestly, yeah. He's one. Yeah, I'll put him as number 11. Moving on from there. What reasons do you think give Brie Bella, a bathroom break diva, the right to wear gold before retiring? Okay. I know we talked about this, man. I know. But let's be real here. Brie Bella over the years has brought a lot to the table. And especially in that mega feud that she had with Stephanie. Now, she has improved over the years. She is definitely more stealthy than her sister. She has the same moves as Daniel Bryan, but she can execute them. And the fact that she decided to use submission holds really does impress me. And she does them very well. She brings a lot to the table. She brings a lot of passion to the table. And I admire her. I know I hated her as a heel, which means she did a great job. She was excellent as a heel. She can't speak as a face that well, but she can speak very well as a heel. And I will say that I will definitely miss her when she leaves, but she should get her just due. Like, she should get her championship match, just like Trish did before Trish put the belt up. Trish actually did beat I think she did beat Lita for her last time to be the 7-time Divas champion, and then she put her belt up. And honestly, I think that Brie should get the same thing. She should have been in at least the 4th chick in the triple threat. I'm just saying, she should have been in the triple threat, even if she didn't win, and it would have been a great setup for the 4 horsewomen. Seeing how she's going to be leaving, and she would have been screwed by one of them, and then Bayley comes out to be the 4 horsewomen, and I know that means that Bayley might have to go heel, and I know a lot of people are not cool with that. But other than that, that would have been a great setup for the 4 horsewomen, and I would have been fine to have her be in the Fatal 4-Way. But yeah, she earned it. She should get a title match before she leaves. She should have got a title match instead of that Fastlane. She should have gotten it at WrestleMania. She deserves her WrestleMania moment. I'm just saying, she does. And that's just me. Y'all, you know how I feel about the divas. Your second question your third question for me is, will we see more reviews on shows with you and Mr. Griff? Irvin's schedule is way busier than mine, especially when it comes to the hours. I know that, I mean, I'm down with any type of collaboration that he wants to do with me. I'm cool with it. Because I've done a few with him before. I've done a lot of audios with him before. And he's very entertaining, very knowledgeable about wrestling as well as with comic books. And I love doing collaborations with him. So I'm down with it. If he's down, if he wants to put me on something or have a woman's perspective of some of his videos, I'm down with it. Straight up. But at the moment, I don't have anything planned. Especially for WrestleMania, I don't have anything planned. But if he wants to do something, I'm down. And I'm just putting it out there. But moving on to the final set of questions that I have on YouTube. This is feeling a bit surreal, man. This really is. But moving on to my first set. And it's coming from Dustin Nunn. And he sent me 5, and I appreciate it. Your first question for me is, do you think Cartoon Network should bring back the original Toonami? Because I think they should. Today's Toonami sucks big time. The original Toonami block was very entertaining to watch. The only thing is that there's been a lot of changes. I mean, Cowboy Bebop has been over for years. People have literally watched Full Metal Alchemist to death, as well as Brotherhood, which is supposed to be the manga version. There's really not any mainstream anime to put out there that is PG enough for people to watch. More than likely, I think that they should go a little hardcore. That's just me. I think that that after a certain hour, if they have Toonami on at midnight, just like they do with Adult Swim, then they need to kind of up the ante with their anime. If they do it that way and have Toonami on the Saturday block, but have it like at midnight to where the after hours is no holds barred, I'm cool with that. Because that'll make it different. And I'm not talking about with profanity and nudity and fan service. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about actually bringing like a different type of anime. Like if they have, I don't know, I mean, if they have like a, not Sailor Moon, but if they have like a darker version, a darker magical girl genre, or if they have like a different, or Wolf Rain or something like that. If they have like a different type of anime out there, then I'm fine with it. But at this moment, they really don't have much. So if they bring the original one back, that's like bringing out the original anime they had out there, and people have already seen it a million times. So no, I don't think they should have that same block, but I think they should actually bring better anime there. And there's lots of great anime out there. I mean, if they want to go the safe route, shoot. Put Fruits Basket out there. Put Wolf Rain out there. Put The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya out there. There's lots of great anime out there that they can probably pick and put out there. I think they did put Dararara out there for a while. And that's as edgy as they could get. I wouldn't say Panty and Stockings. That'll probably be a bit too much. But there's lots they can put out there, man. Seriously. And everything new and fresh. No Bleach, no One Piece. That's been done to death. And Bleach is over, and so is One Piece. And I think no, One Piece is still going, but Naruto is done. So they just need to have something different. I'm just saying. They do. Okay, your second question for me is, have you ever watched New Japan Wrestling? It's really awesome. I have. I actually record every single episode there is. I just wish I had the time to sit down and watch all of it. I've only seen like 3 of it so far. That's how I got to know Shinsuke Nakamura, the king of strong style. And Mr. Griffin, Irvin, he's got me into it. Like, Irvin's been watching it way before I have ever started. He's been watching Lucha way before I've ever started. And he got me into watching. He's like, look, if you see if you have New Japan. And when I found out that I had it, I started watching it. That's how I found out about Shinsuke. And wow. All I can say is night and day. It is night and day from WWE and it's way, way, way more brutal than NXT. I love it. I really do. It kind of gives Lucha a run for its money, in my opinion. It just does. But I love every bit of it. Are you familiar with the wrestler Dave Taylor? Who is an old tag team partner of William Regal's? No, I don't. Okay, if you're not familiar with Dave Taylor, one time I came across an internet article where it said that Taylor was somehow involved in in the 2007 Benoit family tragedy case. I guess Kevin Sullivan wasn't the only one involved in the Benoit case. Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna have to go do research on this. You see what I'm talking about, guys? This guy brings up some awesome questions. I'm sorry, I will definitely miss you. But now I'm gonna actually have to look this up. Like, seriously, if this is true, I'm gonna have to look this up. By far, I'm gonna have to look this up. Okay, who is your favorite Transformer character of all time? I like Starscream. I like Starscream because Starscream, he's hilarious. He's one of those henchmen that wants it all, but that can never grab that brass ring. And he comes close to doing it, and he does, but it's always for a short period of time. And his voice alone, I love it. I really do. I love Starscream, like, by far. I mean, I love Megatron, and but no, it's Starscream. It's Starscream by far. but yeah, he's just funny. He's really funny. Bumblebee was cool in the movies, but yeah, in the cartoon, yeah, it's just Starscream. Do you think terrorism should go away already? I wish it would. As long as you have people who have that hatred mentality and thinks that one person's better than the other, then terrorism is always going to be around. And that's the one thing that makes me very sad. They believe in their own version of equality, and it's mostly for themselves, not for the people or how they benefit their own people. It actually is more of a detriment to their own people than it is a benefit. And it brings a burden to a lot of people. But they don't really see it that way. They only see it through their own eyes. And that's a shame. It really is. And a lot of people start to buy into that. So as long as there's one person that think in that way, then yeah, terrorism's not going to go away. And that's I wish it would. I really want it to. But I don't think it will anytime soon. The next set of questions comes from Final Limits. What are your thoughts on Amanda Bynes not being invited to the All That reunion? Did they make the right choice by not inviting her? Okay, I did read that article that you sent me, and I think that it was wrong for them to do that. The reason why is this: I know that Amanda Bynes has been in a lot of trouble, especially she's been known for drugs and her antics and all that other stuff. The thing is this: that was years ago. She hasn't even been in the limelight since. She's actually been out of the limelight, but not really giving her a choice is wrong. Thinking that she's going to come to the set drunk and all messed up with bad wigs is wrong. That's making an assumption. And that's branding somebody for their past. She may not even be that way anymore. We have no idea. But I think they should have asked her at least, if she came to the set to drunk or if she misbehaved, then yeah, kick her off. But I would have at least given her the option to be there because she was part of the show too, and she was really funny. So that's kind of messed up. That's real heartbreaking. Second question for me is, how come British Fist doesn't do Q&As anymore? That's a question that you got to be sending to them because their Q&A, and I told you this, Final Limits. No other questions about other YouTubers. But other than that, I will tell you this. They're going to be doing a Q&A on April 13th. You can still send questions in now. And you can send them directly to their British Fist page on YouTube. You can actually leave it in the comments and NJ will be able to pick it up. But yeah, I will send that question to them and ask them why. I did put the announcement on, well actually I did put their channel on my last Q&A that actually explains the announcement. I will put that in the card up above for those that are interested about what's going on with the Q&A and how you can actually put in any questions for their final Q&A. But yeah, you need to ask them that. Whenever you watch Freddy's Q&A, do you watch the entire 2 hours? Or do you watch only half of it and then come back and watch the rest later? I usually watch all of Freddy's Q&As. Freddy's pretty thorough in how he actually responds to his Q&As. And sometimes I am, but sometimes I ramble on more than anything else. But with Freddy, he is very thorough and very to the point with every question that he does. And most of the questions that I send him, you know, I always watch it to see if he answers it. And when he does, I still continue to watch it on. And he actually is very entertaining to, you know, to listen to. So I actually do watch the entire thing. I really do. But I think he's doing a little bit better about it not being too long. I haven't seen his recent Q&A that he put up. Maybe that was the one you're talking about. But yeah, I watched the entire thing when I actually do watch it. Okay, what are your thoughts on Jesus from The Walking Dead? Have you been watching have you been watching The Walking Dead lately? I've watched The Walking Dead off and on. I will say this, when I saw the episode that Rick and Michonne got together, I didn't know what to think about that, and I haven't really been watching it that often. No, actually, the last time I watched it was when the doctor, well, for those that haven't seen it, spoiler alert, cover your ears, the doctor died. That's the last time I actually did watch the episode, was when the doctor died. And I haven't seen it recently, but with the guy with the long hair, I don't know what these weird biblical names are, but yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that. But hey, it's the apocalypse. People start creating things. I guess that happens, but yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm just not of that. But I know that, you know, it's the apocalypse, so it's the zombie apocalypse. Okay. What influenced you more to quit doing Q&As? Was it the mean, hateful, racist questions, or because your busy work schedule? It's both. And I'm going to be straight up honest with you here. Yeah, getting hateful, racist questions practically at every Q&A for the last 2.5 years really started to burn me out a little bit. It did. I'm not going to lie. But the biggest reason, besides the hateful questions, and it does burn me out, but besides the hateful questions, my schedule has gotten hectic to where I've been too tired to do Q&As. And it's just not fair for me to try to get these out by Wednesday, and then it's like Saturday when I get it out, which is not fair to you guys, because I know you guys are expecting your questions to be answered. So I'm either way too tired to actually do these Q&As, or I'm just burnt out by the hateful questions, especially what's going on in my neck of the woods. So it's both, to be honest with you. And I mean, that's as real as I can get it right there. Okay. And that is your final questions for me. And I guess the next set of questions and my final set of questions for this final Q&A comes from Justin Side. Whose Q&A do you like more, Freddy's or the British Fist? I used to like the, well, I mean, I still watch the British Fist Q&As, but I love their intros. I miss their old intros and their outros, and they don't do them anymore. And I do miss it. I don't really send a lot of questions into other YouTubers anymore. But I will say this. I do watch it occasionally. I haven't really watched it that often, but I will say that I like Freddy's. Freddy's puts a lot of details, as well as he puts music to it. He actually kind of makes it into a show, and I enjoy that. The Q&A for the British Fist is just them answering questions, while Freddy actually makes it a show. So I will say that I like Freddy's a little bit more. But it's not like it really matters because the British Fist is doing their last one. So I'll definitely say that I like Freddy's more. And Freddy doesn't do it that often either. So it kind of makes it special. Who are you going to meet in your circle at WrestleMania 32? Okay. I want to meet Connor. And I've already sent some tweets out to Connor telling him I'm going to be there and I want to meet him. And I do want to meet OK Fabe. I've always been a fan of OK Fabe. He made me laugh every time I mean, every single time he does a video, he makes me laugh. Every time. And I enjoy it. I really do. I like Matt from In the Rope Show. He's a very intelligent guy, and he's very passionate about wrestling. I would love to meet him too. And definitely I'm gonna meet Rico. So I would love to see what Rico's about and see how aggressive that. Well, Rico used to be a wrestler, so I would love to actually just meet Rico and see. He always is like a heel every time I talk to him, so it's kind of interesting to actually meet him in person. And Hill Steven will be there too. I've never really talked to Hill Steven, so that he'll be a type of guy to actually to be interested in meeting as well. Excuse me, my allergies and everything. Do you think Maven is, was mistreated in his short WWE run? No. I mean, Maven had his, I mean, not Maven. Raven had his heyday. What about Raven? It became kind of lame after a while. But he had his whole grungy heyday, so I don't think he was mistreated. I just think that he kind of phased out with the times. That's just how I feel about it. Are you still going to do reviews? Yes, I still am going to do reviews. I just may not do them that often. I'm still going to do reviews of the major pay-per-views, and as well as any pay-per-view that comes out. I'm still going to do reviews. I'm still going to do predictions if I have time to. And I'm still going to be active on my channel. I'm just not going to be doing Q&As anymore, because Q&As actually takes time and careful planning and very detailed organization to do, especially getting Twitter and Twitter questions and Facebook questions as well as questions for YouTube together. So that's the only thing I'm not going to do anymore. But I'm still going to do reviews. I'm still going to do discussion videos. I might do some a few audios here and there if I can get people together. But honestly, I'm still going to be active on this channel. It's just one thing that's not going to be there anymore. Well, guys, that's it. That is it for this Q&A. And you guys have made it special for the last 5 years. It has been great. It's not over for this channel. It's just over for these Q&As. But I thank y'all for being the most awesome of awesome supports. I thank you guys so much for sending me so many questions throughout the years. Whether they were good or bad, they were still special because you sent me questions. And I did 152 of these. I never in my right mind thought I would ever do 152 of these and still have questions being sent. But guys, I thank you so much for your support. I thank you so much for your love. And that is it for me. Nature Girl 30 signing out for this final Q&A. Peace out, y'all. I will see y'all later.